Welcome back to Diary with a Creator. And this episode, Creator Confessions on March. Baby's crawling on the floor. We are diving into the real, behind the real, every month, no filters, no fluff. And I cover the highlights from my month across faith, wellness, wealth, marketing, biz, travel, and community. It's the behind the scenes journey, and I'm sharing more of this as we go and as we grow through the Creator Lab, through Creator Stories, and more. And if you haven't checked out the Creator Circle and the free preview to Creator School, I invite you to do so. And I always share in this piece also a creator snapshot, as well as creator events and a preview of what I call Creator World, what's next in my world as I travel the world. So in this month's edition with faith, I stayed aligned and amplified with faith and felt in March that I felt tested and growing in various different levels, almost like being pruned and giving birth all at the same time with a lot of contractions, so to speak. But I was really, really proud of myself because compared to some other months or times where I talked about down days or different things, I hacked myself or biohacked myself or mind hacked myself to where I stayed in more places with sunshine and I moved in less than 2 weeks or within 10-ish days, so that I knew I had to stay aligned and amplified. And I watched 7+ faith-focused messages, relationship goals in real life with Transformation Church. And with astrology, yes, I am faith-based, and I have found recently a lot of insights into astrology and what's happening with planets and holding it loosely and not idolizing at all. And more from a state of curiosity. And I look at it maybe once a week, every 2 weeks, every month. So it's not at all something that I feel compelled or addicted to. And those are some of the ways, and when I say addicted, I'm saying addicted in maybe not a great way. Those are some of the ways I gauge myself. Like, for example, I love going to the gym. It is a mental reprieve and it is a body result. I love keeping my food in alignment and flow and eating protein, complex carbs at least 2 to 3 times a day, veggies, healthy fats, and staying consistent with food every 3 weeks, every 3 hours, not every 3 weeks, every 3 hours. And those are what I call healthy addictions or healthy choices. So just giving a bit of more insight there. So as I dug into what was happening astrologically as well, Pisces season closing into clearing. Side note, last week I attended a coherence 1-ish hour session with Glendy. So shout out to Glendy. You can also find her on Substack. So the first part of March carried apparently Pisces energy. And Pisces is endings, emotional clearing, spiritual alignment, releasing what's not true. And I don't know about you, friends, but I've definitely felt in March and into April radically a lot of cleansing and clearing. What makes so much sense for me looking back at February and early March, I had a major body purge, gut reset, hydration shift, which very, very rarely happens to me. I have shared recently on social media and in general, and I think I'll do a Substack or episode on this too. I didn't have my period for almost a year. And alongside that, I wasn't panicking. I wasn't freaking out. Alongside that, I was more curious, like what's happening to my body? Why is this happening? I explored with different things like HRT, being in periomenopause, and I just intuitively knew, like my period is not over. Like my child potential bearing years are not over in any way, shape, or form. Like this is a lot of stuff going on with my body and stress and travel and finances. And so with that, I started really diving into my own intuition because that never happened to me before, even being on prep. And I also started utilizing AI a lot more. I created a creator health chat. Out of that, I created a creator health AI agent, and that was launched, I think, January, February ish. But you can find a free preview on my Gumroad, and all of my full version AI agents are included in Creator School as well. And I share them in previews on my Instagram, the free previews as well, and other social media channels like LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. So with my cycle coming back in January, I think was the first one, or December. I think it was January. It was January. And I knew it was coming. I could feel like every month when I was tapping in, and then also what was happening with my body, I could feel like things were shifting. I think the first one was back in December. But anyway, with it being back very recently, the beginning of this year, it's been an adjustment, but it's also been way, way better than when I was 16, 17, or when I first got it, when I was around 12, etc. So, but at the same time, I felt almost like a forced slowdown in early March. Then I felt a emotional and energetic clearing, being urgent, being clear, having vision, but letting go of this like FOMO of you're quote unquote guilty or not good enough if certain things don't get done on self-imposed deadlines. And March really began with a clear it, feel it, release it. My wellness and workout days increased radically to 20 days in March, all at the gym. So if you haven't heard me talk about it, I've been working out consistently since December, over 6 months now at the gym, 5-6 days a week. And I joined SmartFit, which is based in Brazil, but they have locations all over Latin America. I'm super grateful. So I found them in Ecuador, then worked out there. Then I worked out a ton with them in Peru, all over Lima, Arequipa, different cities. Then I now am working out with them in Chile. I worked out with them in Arica and now in Iquique. So you'll hear some of this again for April, but I'm recording this in April. So wealth, I increased money management frequency from hustler to hair, HEIR, not hair like the hair on my head. I created a over $3.1 million pipeline from creator economy proposals with 1.3 million. This is more than I've ever had shifted in process in interviews, AI, follow-up, second steps. Even though, keep in mind, I have not yet reached my Q1 goals of 22K months. So being fully transparent there, really vulnerable, still not yet stable with finances and finance flow and cash flow, like giving you guys the real. There's been a lot of humbling, a lot of massive money management, massive money shifts, pruning, looking at money with my Creator Cash AI agents, and looking at weekly cash flow, looking at vision, looking at forecasts off of the actions, the inspired actions. And definitely check out my Creator Cash AI agents because it can help you with both of those. Even in the free version, it is limited, but you can still do a lot in it, versus the full version you can buy fully on Gumroad and or Shopify, and or again, all my AI agents are in Creator School. So sent over 3,000 plus emails in March for Creator Love AI Agent. Yes, I launched a Creator Love AI Agent. So through my dating experiences, through navigating and learning masculinity and femininity, I started a AI chat, and then I felt inspired in February, March to create a free version and then create a paid version. And then again, it's the full version's also in Creator School. So Creator Flow, I massively increased flow from brand pitches to long form content like emails to short form content, and almost at full alignment from the emails to Substack and blogs to social media as of April. I still have quite a bit, 80 plus drafts to clear out of Instagram and schedule and YouTube and TikTok. So that is clearing. And then sharing some more pieces from Substack, editing the Peru blog. So I drafted it's published currently, but I want to update it with some of the recent experiences. So that's happening over the next couple of days as well. So the aim is to fully have and flow from brands to long form to short form and whatnot by the end of May and or in June. So depending on how quick, because I have been posting consistently 2-3 times a day ish, so it's clearing a lot faster. And then long form, I currently stopped the blog in order to clear all the rest. And then once it resumes, I'll be sharing some pieces more in depth on biological age, on how I gamify my life. And then I have 2 long form videos aligned to prior blogs. And actually, as of this recording, I have 1 because I already edited the other one on creator trends and the creator marketing plan. And the one that I want to update and edit is on my learning plan. So if you didn't know, every year I put together a creator learning plan in every area of my life. And then I check in sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly across faith, wellness, marketing, business, travel. Like right now, I am focused on more courses within Herbalife nutrition. I also added Carta, which is a investor tech tool, and on cap tables and whatnot. So I've been diving into that. And then I mentioned some of the other prior videos. I have over 15 watch later videos on YouTube from various topics, from faith to business with Layla and Alex Harmozy, to AI trainings, to AI characters. I'm thinking of developing a creator Bestie AI character. I have a support ticket out to one of the platforms. There was a weird error. I'm currently also almost done with my creator Bestie app that I've been developing in Figma in March and started, I think, in March-ish, maybe February. But February and March definitely, and then expanded with sections, faith, wellness, wealth, marketing, business, and travel, and free previews. Gamification is added in every section. And then also for creators to repurpose it and use it as their own app and to white label it as well. And then also for coaches within Herbalife. So there's a lot of different moving parts that I'll be working on into May. And then listing on different platforms as well as setting up the launch and whatnot. So if you didn't know about platforms like Merkur, Turing, Micro AI, I highly recommend you check them out. I have 20 plus roles in process. I have 3, I mentioned earlier all the second step phases, but I have 3 that have moved into phase 3, so to speak, that I've completed, like the final steps or the contracts are completed and I'm waiting on next steps. So as of forecasting, I'm looking at this that even at a 10% win, it's $4K a month. At a 25% win, that's 10K to 12K months. And at a 50% win, that's 21K to 23K months, which gets me to my goal. And that's only on that one segment. That's not counting the outreach that I've been creating on Apollo.io, LinkedIn, and other platforms as well. And if you haven't checked out on my Substack, my Q1 goals, I share a lot of the behind the scenes there to really give insight into the behind the scenes work and what's being completed on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and automated and with AI. And then also on my actual blog on fitlifecreation.com/blog, there's an amazing piece, how to launch like a boss. And then I dive into sections with Apollo.io. It's a really, really great tool. Creator business activity. So I mentioned the Creator Love AI agent created. The Creator Flow is increasingly aligned. Creator Bestie app expanded, gamified, and white labels for creators. I received that divine download that I thought, oh my goodness, this would be amazing for creators to expand. Creator Week and retreats in real life published on Luma. If you didn't know about Luma, that's an amazing platform you can use to list events both online and live. So far, I think, even though Eventbrite has been around for a really, really, really long time, and I've definitely received, results and successes from that and expanding the audience, and I really love how they, list everywhere in the world. Luma, what I really like about Luma is once someone books and pays for an event, you get paid via Stripe, versus Eventbrite holds it until the event happens and you're paid after. which as a creator and or as a business, that puts anyone in a cash crunch, because you might have, 10, 100, 1,000, however many sales on Eventbrite, but they're holding that until, and like as a business, they have to know this. They're holding it until the event. And let's say you're listing the event, a month, 2 months, 6 months out, and then you have real expenses to cover, whether it's the venue, whether it's a retreat house, whatever it is that say maybe isn't sponsored. So, to me, they should revamp their model and pay once they receive the cash and withhold their fee. And, it's, to me, it's, I guess in one sense, looking at it from every angle, they're holding it because they want to make sure the event happens. And they want to hold the money, to potentially refund the person. But then also as a business, you're out of that cash until after the event. And so you're having to cover the float. So I understand the perspective perhaps, or the reasoning, but I really like how Luma's doing it. So, and an Eventbrite could always, if that's the reasoning, they could always potentially put in other parameters or requirements, or maybe withhold even 25%, like say, until you prove, you don't have any returns, ABC 1, 2, 3, we're going to hold 25% or 50%. That's still a big difference than holding all of it. Cleared over 300 plus emails. Social media as of the end of March was under 50 in drafts, and my phone was under 30. That's shifted into April with a lot of content created, so I'll share more on that in the April episode. This is the March episode. So social media growth. On Instagram, I completed 38 reels, so that was a bit over 1 on average in March. That's definitely accelerated in April. 5 carousels, 100 plus stories, and 18K plus reach in March, up 10%. That's definitely also increased in April, so super grateful and excited on seeing the growth. YouTube, 2 long forms, 3 podcasts done, 43 shorts, 15,000 views last 30 days. It was down 50%. It's back on the up into April. 25 watch hours, 1,782 subscribers. LinkedIn went up 16% last 90 days, a bit over 3,300 followers, about 7 posts scheduled weekly. I've also accelerated that. Again, getting back into flow and then looking at creator flow and where I can share organically and for free. TikTok, 700% increase, and creator apparel Q1 plan and TikTok shop in process. So in March, I had several technical difficulties with adding in the warehouse on TikTok shop with fourth wall. So within April, after being really, really patient with their support team, going back and forth on the dynamics on how do I fix this, and them communicating with TikTok, they couldn't fix it fully. So in the meantime, in April, I researched another tool, Printful, and I'm excited to say that it is connected, and I already created the first apparel piece on Printful. The TikTok shop integration worked great. The shipping is set up great. So that will be incoming into some of the Creator Lab articles I share on Substack. Creator Lab is essentially my 2-hour playtime per week, where I'm working on what I call special projects, and then you see the real movement every single week, especially because of AI and automation, and it still allows me to continue to focus on other key things. So that is in the works. So for example, in my Creator Lab and my special projects is pitching outreach to different brands and Airbnbs and stays around the world. The Creator Apparel / TikTok shop, the Creator Bestie app I mentioned earlier, Amazon, and my books on Amazon, as well as, and I have several of those on special right now, by the way, as well as NFTs that I've completed artwork, but I've paused the launch and whatnot because from a timing and a flow perspective and an impact and influence, I believe the Creator Bestie app is best served initially, and get that launch flowing, growing, and going into then likely the apparel. And the NFT really pulls in all the different dynamics of Create It, from the NFTs to the content, the courses, the community, the retreats, and then it will pull in the app and apparel as well. So I think basically I'm maximizing momentum And then all of that pulls in the tips, tools, and tech with health, wealth, and business as well. So March AI usage by category. So for over a year now, I've been tracking AI usage by category in a chat. And I actually accelerated that in April to start tracking it as a task weekly and look at what's happening. And it also helps me see gaps of maybe things where I'm not covering or where I could enhance it. So in March, and then the way I've been tracking this also is not just by hours, but I assume an ROI, a return on investment of $70 per hour up to $700 per hour, whether it's immediately actualized or realized or not, just giving a range depending on what you may resonate better with, but it shows you the real impact. And for example, if you subscribe to my newsletter or subscribe to my Substack, you'll see it by section. Like I talk about creator weeks, which is what I use my creator priority AI agent for. Creator cash, creator stars, creator health, creator cash flow, launches and mapping, creator love, content strategy, NFTs, lives, apparel, travel and planning, SOPs, and systems. So lives are on my list to increase more as well, as part of like a Create With Me series, or using pre-recorded content, whether I record it outdoors or at a private stay or at a podcast studio. I found an amazing one in Santiago in Chile and 2 or 3 really good ones in Miami. So strategizing through that, outlining that, travel and planning, which is, mapping out, stabilizing my travels. So just to give you a glimpse, in March, essentially 175 hours were created. You guys, that's over a month of normal traditional work hours. Like that's insane. That means basically double of the time. Like talk about a day is worth 1,000 years and 1,000 years is worth a day, like the scripture Isaiah 55:1 says. Or talk about quantum leaping. Like it blows my own brain. Like one of my own goals and my purpose is to blow people's brains up. And in the process, I blow up my own brain all the time. Like, and then the ROI ranges from $12,000 to $122,000, and that's not including potentially the ROI from the results and different actions that are taken. So March versus February, the March it was up by 21 hours. And then again, as I've shared, all my AI agents are in Creator School, which you can find at bit.ly/join Creator School, including the free preview, the monthly option, and the annual option. So learning, I've shared several pieces of that, plus 7+ Herbalife training videos, plus 15+ wealth, business, and EFT videos to really, really normalize and align, my nervous system and my parasympathetic nervous system. Not only do I pray, walk, go to the beach, meditate, I also incorporate significantly EFT, emotional freedom technique videos. So tapping on different meridian points and rewiring your brain, rewiring your thoughts. Highly, highly recommend. It's helped me tremendously. Clearing. Completed 2 long form videos in full alignment, cleared the emails I mentioned earlier, kept my phone and cleared it down to less than 30 videos at the end of March. However, after 3 adventures, the end of March, my phone was at over 300. Now, as of this recording, it's under 80 videos right now, and I'm been clearing a lot. And then I'm intentionally putting off some things with like Sunset with Sarah Dragon and Inkike, or other things as well. And then I added over 40+ Instagram reels and drafts, and so now that's back up to 80+. Travel stayed stable for the most part in March. I stayed at 2 Airbnbs in Lima. I moved closer to the market for 1 week, so it was about a 15-minute drive. Then I migrated the last week in March 4 hours to Paracas and Huacachina, which you may have seen some of my posts or videos about the Peruvian Galapagos and doing sandboarding in the desert with the lagoon. And that was 2 bus rides, about 4 hours total. And then I extended my Peru stay to simplify and for stability, and decided to stay until literally last week. So I think it was April 23rd. So with that, 7 ways to create it, from creator content, creator brands, retreats, school, AI, templates, tech, and tools. And I hope to see you subscribed in Substack and or on the show. And leave a review on the show and drop your IG handle, drop your website so I can give you a shout out. And as always, besties, create, transform, and inspire, because you are born to.